Today we will learn about logics. So first of all, let us introduce a term which is known as proposition. Now, what is a proposition? Proposition is a statement which will either be true or false. Okay. So we denote true by T and false by F. Say a proposition is a statement which will either take T value or it will take F value. It cannot take both the values and it has to take one of these values. Okay. For example, if I say Radhe is a scientist. So Radhe is a scientist. Either it is true or it is false. So it is a proposition. Okay. For example, if I say how much do you earn? Now, this will have many answers depending on the person to whom this question is asked. And it is not going to be true or false. It is going to be a number. Okay, for example, 10,000, 1 lakh, etc. So this is not a proposition. Okay. For example, we have a mathematical statement x plus 1 equals to 3. Now, x plus 1 equals to 3 is true. It takes the value true if and only if x is equal to 2. So, it will have different answers. So, depending on the values of x. So, this is not a proposition. Okay. This is not a proposition because we don't know the value of x over here. Okay. So, this is a proposition. Now, suppose we have two propositions. Okay. Proposition A. Okay. So when I say A is true, okay, so we denote that by T. And if I say is false, A is false, we denote that by F. Okay. So for example, we have two propositions, proposition A and proposition B. Okay. And we define something known as conjunction. This thing is known as conjunction. Conjunction basically means and. Okay, that means A and B happening together, something like that. Okay, so if A is true, okay, B is true, then definitely A and B will be true. Okay, if A is false, B is false, okay, then A and B will be, what will be the conjunction? Then A and B will be false. A is false, B is false, A and B is false. Now, if A is true, B is false. So even if one of them is false, the statement is false because it is conjunction. It means and. And if A is false, B is true, again, this is false. So conjunction means something happens simultaneously. For example, I will get a cash prize of $100 if I score 100 in math and 100 in physics. Okay. So basically what is happening over here, a score of 100 in math is A and a score of 100 in physics is B. Okay. So if A and B both are happening, then only I am going to get a cash prize. It is something like that. Even if one of them is false, I am not going to get a cash prize. So this is the concept of conjunction. Similarly, we have a concept of disjunction. Now, what do you mean by disjunction? This means either A or B. Okay. So suppose this is A and this is B and this is disjunction of A and B. So if this is true, this is true, this is true. If this is true, this is false, this is true. What does it mean? It means if either of A or B is true, we are going to have it. We are going to have a true statement. Similarly, A false, B true, true. And if both are false, then only we will have false. Okay. So it is something like that. I will get a cash prize of $100 if I get 100 in math or 100 in physics. That means even if I satisfy one of them, I'm going to get the cash prize. Okay. So that is what is meant by disjunction. Okay. So what is negation of a statement? Okay. What is a negation of a statement? Negation of a statement. For example, A, the negation of the statement. This is the parent statement or proposition. Suppose this is proposition. Okay. Its negation is called not A. For example, if A means it is raining, then not A means it is not raining. Okay. So it is denoted by this, not A. Okay. For example, if this is my set A, for example, and if I say not A, that means something outside this. Everything outside this is not A. So that is what is meant by negation of a statement. So for example, if we have A and the truth value of A is T, okay, then for negation A, it is going to be false. Okay. And if the value of A is F, then for negation of A, it is going to be true. So they are reverse of each other. So what is a proposition? A proposition is a statement that can only take the values true or false. And then we learned the concept of logics, disjunction, conjunction, negation. Okay. Now we